today I took a journey into Battle and Brew to see what people really thought, what the real gamers really thought about virtual realities. The documentary that I looked at is called Life 2.0. This documentary goes into a couple people's different lives and how they adjusted their second life, virtual reality, to their real life and how their relationships were changed based on this relationship with this video game.
I'm Abigail Dillon and I'm here with and we are going to talk about virtual reality. So what game are you playing right now?
I am about to be playing Cryptid Necromancer.
And what is that?
It's a rhythm-based game where you're playing an adventure game to the rhythm of whatever song is playing, and you can insert your own songs, you can sort of explore any sort of genre, and the game controls change based on that.
So cool. Now, have you ever heard of the game or virtual reality universe Second Life?
Yeah, familiar with Second Life.
Oh, have you ever played it before?
Briefly, very briefly.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was really awkward in the way it handled and controlled, but the concept is really cool. It's clunky. Very clunky.
Now, do you create an avatar for this game?
This one, no, but you can for some of the other games I play, EVE Online, a lot of the MMOs do that.
Now, when you create your avatar, do you create that thing to be more like you, or do you create it to be something that you wish you could be like, or something crazy that's super mystical, or what?
I try to stick close to home.
Okay.
Like I tend to steer towards characters or things where
that you really
that I'm familiar with, or maybe modeled after me, maybe not. Something close to home though. I very rarely play like a woman or something crazy.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool. Okay, so how many hours a day do you say you play?
Do I have to admit that?
You have to admit it.
I'm kidding. 6 to 8, not bad. I mean, unfortunately, I have a career, so otherwise it'd be higher than that.
I have 2 jobs. I completely understand.
Yep.
Completely understand. Now, let me see what other questions I have. Okay, how long have you been playing? Have you been into the virtual reality games?
Let's see, 96, 95, probably. 95. EVE Online, I started playing with Ultima Online, and that was my first online game, and you build a persona and you do all sorts of stuff like that. I've been hooked ever since, kind of.
Wow, that's amazing. So how many times do you come here to Battle and Brew a week? You can admit it.
3 to 5.
So do you, when you were saying how many hours you played, did you log in the time that you also spend here, or do you mainly play at home?
I mainly play at home. I mostly meet friends here, sort of be part of the community around here, but on occasion we'll game here as well, as we're doing right now.
So with these virtual reality games, are you laughing at my question?
No, I'm laughing at how bad I am.
Oh, okay.
I am terrible.
Awesome. With these virtual reality games, in my documentary that I was watching, which is based on Second Life, they were talking about how it affects relationships positively and negatively. Like one story where this woman and this man both married from different areas, but they ended up having an emotional affair via Second Life, and they met in person, had an actual affair. And then another story where this woman really felt connected to the people she met in Second Life and would meet up with them, and they were best friends. How do you feel when you're
It happens all the time. A good set of friends of mine are actually married and have met originally through Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 11, yeah. So they met online, she lived in Wisconsin, he lived here, they ended up meeting at an event in Texas, and they had the basis of their relationship online to start from, so it wasn't like meeting a complete stranger.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've ended up marrying since, and obviously the rest of it is a story.
History,
exactly. But there's a lot of, I guess, emotion that gets tied in, and you're still dealing with people at the end of the day, right? So these people, whatever they pretend to be, or etc., sometimes you get to peel back the layers and see who's on the other end, and then it's a relationship through the means of an online game or etc. But it stops being about the game; it starts being about the other person, right? And I think it's probably the same case in Second Life and a couple of other places, I would assume.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
Serena, how old are you?
I'm 27.
27.
Think about it. I got my first gaming system when I was like 4.
Oh wow. What was it?
It was an NES. It was like a hand-me-down. The SNES had just come out. My cousins gave me the
got
and I like played a lot. And then like since then, I want to say that when I started spending a lot of time gaming was when I was in 5th grade and the Pokemon games came out on
yes.
Game Boy, and then that was just like life sucking.
Basically. So how many hours average a day do you play video games? Any kind of games? No, it's totally fine. Everybody's been a little unsure about it, but you can answer truthfully.
A lot. Probably, I'd say like 2 at a minimum. Like I at least like log on to like
Okay, what would be your maximum?
12.
That's not bad at all. That is not bad.
It's only like every waking moment, but, you know.
The documentary that I watched, people were playing like 18, 20 hours a day.
I mean, I've done it before, but I wouldn't
That's not
say
your
that that's
average.
my average. But like, I probably average around 6.
That's not bad at all. Don't be ashamed, Brandon. Don't be ashamed. Like, I mean, I read and I'm on. Heck, people are on Facebook way more hours than that throughout the day,
That's
and that's
true.
just mindlessly scrolling. At least you're doing something.
I do that.
It's okay. We all do it. It's all our guilty pleasures. So, describe your average day for me. Like, you wake up, and then what do you do? And what time do you wake up?
I have a daughter, so that adds into my day, but she also plays games, so she's 5. So like usually I wake up and I'm not a morning person, so I usually like get up and get her breakfast and everything, and then we kind of like play around and watch cartoons, and then when she naps, I'm usually playing games. And then I also stream games at night or when I'm not working. I started with League of Legends, which sucked up my life for about 2 years.
That has sucked up a lot of my friends' lives too. I don't see them anymore.
Yeah, and then like lately I've been streaming like Heroes of the Storm and Arc.
Oh, so what is your favorite aspect of these games you play?
I play so many different games. To me, the biggest thing, and one of the reasons why I started streaming was community.
Okay.
So, yeah, I went through a period where I was like pretty lonely and like in a bad living situation. That's when I started streaming so that I could connect to other people. So I started playing Warcraft in 2005, and I played that for a long time. So I really like the community aspect of gaming. That's what's fun to me, is like being able to interact and do incredible things with other people.
Now, do you ever, I mean, obviously you play with people you don't know. Do you ever try to seek out those people in real life and hang out with them and meet with them and game all together when, you know,
I have before. I've had some of my Warcraft guildies like come down and meet up with me.
Where were they from?
He was from, it was like him and like 3 other people, and they were all from the same state, but they were all in the same guild. And he was from like Ohio, I think.
Oh, wow.
If I remember correctly, it was a few years ago. So, but yeah, and then I have other friends that, like I have a friend from Scotland, and we haven't actually met, but we like talk to each other outside games all the time and stuff. Also, so.
Do you feel sometimes you have a better connection with the people inside the games than you would everyday people just around you in general?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel, so your daughter's 5. What is her name?
Adele.
Adele. That's a great name. Raymond and Adele. It's perfect. What kind of games is she playing right now? I mean, obviously I assume like little kids.
She got a tablet for her birthday, and so she likes to play. She plays a lot of educational games, but she also plays like silly games like Fruit Ninja and stuff like that. But she knows how to work the tablet completely, like knows how to work like YouTube, Netflix, everything.
Wow. Okay, so your perception of people who play Second Life, do you consider them on the same level as you playing your World of Warcraft games and all those other ones? Because those are more like fighting, where Second Life is more of just life, but in a computer.
Right, yeah, I think like Arc's probably more like that, only with dinosaurs. So like, yeah, I can definitely like relate to it. Especially like some of the things that I liked more as like Warcraft has like expanded is that there is like more like day-to-day stuff to do, like maintaining your garrison and doing your like daily quests and harvesting crops. I don't know, like it's really simple, but it's somehow enjoyable. So
now, let me rephrase this. Do you ever feel like you come home like it's a really aggravating day from work or just in general, and you de-stress by playing these games?
Oh, absolutely. That is I have pretty severe anxiety, so like gaming is like my de-stressor 100%. It's like I can come home. I actually met my boyfriend through gaming also.
Really?
So,
What game and how did that happen?
League of Legends, like, he actually lives in Georgia, so he messaged me on, like, a dating site, but I, like, wasn't really interested. But then he added me in the game, and we started playing together, and I got to know him better. And so we played games together for, like, a few months, probably. And then he was like, we should meet. And I was like, okay. And then, like, now we still just play games together all the time.
That's good.
So, yeah.
It's very interesting. One of the people, or the documentary went through different people's lives and how, you know, they've gotten along through Second Life and then in real world, essentially. And one of them was this woman, this man, both married, separate, you know, he lived in Canada, she lived in New York, and they ended up meeting and having this, like, emotional affairs, that's what the video called it. And then they met in real life and ended up having a real affair, and then they both separated with their counterparts and everything, and they tried to, you know, live together and make it work, but they realized that, you know, living in Second Life, you know, together, having that and having dreams was easy.
It's fantasy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But then real world, you know, actually takes a lot more work. So did you ever feel like it was difficult going from the gaming relationship that y'all were getting to know each other like that to an actual working, like, outside relationship?
It was a little bit more challenging, for sure. And a little bit awkward.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little awkward when you meet someone that you know from a game.
Because you know so much about them already, but
Right,
then you don't.
but you don't have that connection when you look at them. Like, you don't look at that person and relate it to this person that you
Relate
know
to their
online.
character.
Right, so I'm like looking at him and I feel like I don't know you at all, but I actually know you really well.
Ah, that's very interesting.
But then, like, now we actually, like, spend a lot of time together and still game together.
Oh,
so,
that's good.
Yes, it's been really good. But it was weird at first, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Raina, for joining me on this quest.